All right, this is 101, week 7, part 3, but again, valuable for all my students, no matter what class you're in. So I will be honest. I will be honest. I did not do great in math in school. I was not real good at it. Um, Actually, if you look at my college transcripts, I have straight A's, except for math and Russian, which I did not do real well in. Um, and I will be honest. Those people said you need to know math. You need to know some. I use some math for grading, for example. I had to use some this week to calc out, if the paper's worth 15 points and the student got a B plus, then I had to do that. That's, I was able to do that math. But really, I could have gone to a friend of mine and made them do it for me because they owe me. But I don't, in math class, they told me this is what a logarithm is. This is what sine and cosine are. This is the formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I never needed any of that, not once. So far, maybe it'll come up later. I don't know. I doubt it. So I will admit, some of the things you learn in college will not come up again. And in my case, math, logarithms, sine and cosine, and the Pythagorean theorem did not really come up in my life. I never needed that shit. So it is possible, maybe, you're taking a gamble. You plagiarize, you pass the class. See, I could have plagiarized my way. I could have cheated in math class. And I did cheat in parts of Russian class because I was really bad at that. And I never did learn Russian. I just didn't. I tried to take. I thought it would be fun to learn. I was into chess. I don't know. So, but I got caught and I got in trouble and blah blah blah. So, I eventually passed the class. And I'm glad I had a teacher that was forgiving on that front. So, as I was frustrated because I was having a hard time. So the point is it's possible that you won't need it. But it's a tough, when you're young, to make a gamble that say in this class, that you're never going to need to know how to write clearly in your whole life. I mean, just for starters, you need this class to pass your other classes. This is the class where you learn how to write an essay for college. So you need to be able to pass this class. You need to be able to pass this class in order to do your other classes. So if you plagiarize in here and you pass and you never learn how to write an essay, you don't learn the skills that you need because you plagiarized, then you're going to take another class and they're going to want you to write an essay in there and you're not going to know how to do it. I guess you could plagiarize again, but then you're going to take another class and they're going to want you to write an essay and you still don't know how to do it. And you're not going to go back and learn because you got a B plus in English 101, even though you didn't do the work because you cheated. And right, you see the problem, if you plagiarize now, you're going to have to plagiarize forever. Or at least for the rest of your college career, and that's assuming you're never going to write again. You're not going to need to write clearly ever again. I think you might need to write clearly in your life after college, right? Because it's even worse. If you plagiarize, it's bad enough to plagiarize your way through classes, which means you don't learn the thing from the class and move on anyway. But if you plagiarize your way through, like, say, all of BMCC, then you have a diploma, and you don't know how to do the things you should have learned, not just in this class, but in this college. Your life is going to be hard and angry and frustrating going forward because people are going to expect you to know this stuff and you never learned it. So this is the real issue with plagiarism. It's not if you get caught, you'll get in trouble. It's that if you pretend to be learning, then you end up screwing yourself over later. If you cheat through this class, how on earth are you going to write papers for your other classes? Or are you planning on plagiarizing all the classes? And do you think you're never going to get caught with that many essays and that many teachers? And then when you do get caught, are you going to go back and take 101 again? Like, you're not going to do that, which means you're going to get stuck, which means you're not going to graduate, or you're going to graduate and you're not going to be able to do the thing. Whatever it is you majored in or whatever it is you learned. So this is the larger problem. And plagiarism is also a massive waste of time. The other thing about plagiarism is plagiarism is like going to the gym and pretending to lift weights. Plagiarism is like, imagine if you had like weights, but they were made of styrofoam, right? And you brought them to the gym with you. And then you sat down with all the other weightlifters and you're like pumping, lifting your gym equipment and whatever and doing curls. I can't really do curls with it because I got a soda, so when I try it'll spill. Right, but you're doing your weight. Oh, it's so heavy. Whatever. The point is you're doing but you're pretending. You're just pretending to lift weights. Well, the thing about pretending to lift weights is you will not get any stronger, which means that you're doing a performance where you're pretending to lift weights, but you stay the same size. You don't build muscle. A lot of my students don't want to write papers or read books, which is crazy, by the way, because they came to a school. Coming to school and complaining that there's too many essays and too many books is like going to a bar and complaining that there's alcohol. Like, that's the point of the bar, is alcohol. The point of school is read books and write papers. I don't know what you're doing here. So many of my students seem like, I think because their parents are making them go, so they hate school, they hate books, and they hate reading books, and they hate writing papers. But they feel like they have to come here. But actually, you don't. It's entirely optional. I mean, your mom might be mad at you, but like, you don't have to do it. It's okay if your mom gets mad at you. So you have to read books. So the students have to read books and write papers, and they hate it and they're bad at it. They say, this is so hard. It's hard to read this book. It is hard to write this paper. And it is. It is hard. In the same way that if you go to the gym and you're like, this weight is extremely hard to pick up. Well, yeah, that's the point. Weights are not supposed to be easy. If you go to the gym, lifting weights is not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, you wouldn't burn any muscle. That's why no matter how big the dude in the gym is, he's always picking up something that's a little bit too heavy. Because that's why, even no matter how, it's not like when you get a certain level of big, you're like, oh, I can pick up this weight, no problem. That's not what the guys at the gym do. The big guys at the gym, they get the really big weights, and they go, and they grunt, and they like, oh, they get a guy to help them do the thing, right? So it's hard. It's hard to do. But here's the thing: it's supposed to be hard. Gym equipment is supposed to be hard to move, or you'll never build any muscle. And papers and books, writing essays and reading books in school is supposed to be hard, or you will never learn anything. So this is really the fundamental lesson of plagiarism, is that it defeats the entire purpose of coming to school. And you punish yourself. I always feel like penalties for plagiarism are a little bit like punishing people for suicide or for cutting into their own flesh. Like, you've already harmed yourself, and now I'm going to put you in jail. Like, you cut your skin, like with a blade or something. Like, self-harm is a problem people deal with. But like, you've already harmed yourself. So now you're going to get in trouble on top of the fact that you cut yourself with knives. Like, it's like double punishment, because the plagiarism, like cutting, is a harm in and of itself. Before we get to the if you get caught, you will get in trouble. All right, so that's the main point of my big dumb plagiarism lecture. I think that went pretty well. I think it's a bigger subject. I don't like teachers who are like, some teachers, the entire lesson is, if you do this, you'll get caught and you'll get in trouble. That doesn't teach anybody anything, because students go, I'm just not going to get caught. It's better to understand why plagiarism is a bad idea in the first place. Boy, the city is being fucking loud right now. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so it's a little bit early to end this video, but I'm going to end this video because I'm going to pick up something else. We're going to keep talking about plagiarism, but I'm going to pick it up in the next video. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep going for one more minute. So I mentioned earlier the main form of plagiarism, which is you take a paper somebody else wrote, maybe off the internet, or maybe somebody you paid to write a paper for you. Plagiarism, by the way, if you're paying people to write papers for you, gets real expensive, and I hope you notice why. Because if you pay somebody to write a paper for your 101 class, and you pass the class, then you don't know how to write any of your future papers, which means you're going to be paying for every paper you need for every class from now on. See how there are people, by the way, who you can pay to write your essays for you. They help you cheat. It's a whole industry. There are actually guys in front of BMCC who hand out little cards, and they're like, we'll help you, but they're not going to help you. You pay them, and they write the essay for you, and you put your name at the top, and they don't mind because they got paid. But notice how that scam works. If they can get you in 101 to do that, then you will never learn how to write an essay, and then you will need to keep paying them for your entire college life. All right, I'm having a good time. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.